Okay, part 2. Welcome. So this is the second half of my story, and we left off with it now being 2019. So it's a new year. I wasn't getting anywhere with my doctor. I was still getting pain, and I also decided that it was time to see a new doctor. So I booked in to the doctor that my mum sees, and it was actually my grandma's doctor as well. So she knows a lot about her family history, which is good. So I went and saw her, and by the time I ended up seeing her, like, I'd just been through the mill. I mean, it had been 4 or 5 months of constant pain. So I was pretty much done. I was tired. I was over it. At this point, my energy levels were completely gone. I still wasn't going to the gym, so all I was doing was going to work, and that was it. I would come home, eat dinner, have a shower, and go to bed, and that was my life. I wasn't doing anything else. I couldn't physically do anything else, and I was just so tired and fatigued, and I was so drained. And it takes a lot being in pain. It takes a lot of energy. At this point, I was getting like stabbing, throbbing, twisting pain. It was a constant dull, and then all of a sudden it would just be like sharp bits here and there, and I was urinating like crazy. I was going to the toilet every half an hour. I think the longest I could go was like 40 minutes. So which was not fun. And I didn't have a UTI, okay, it's fine. What were my other symptoms? I was getting headaches, I was nauseous, and I was really low in my moods as well, because I just was absolutely shattered physically and mentally. And I had started feeling like, you know, there's no hope, no one's ever going to figure out what's wrong with me. And this is my life. So when I saw this new doctor, I just completely like bawled out in tears, having to explain everything that had happened and everything I'd been feeling and everything I'd been going through. And she was really good. She listened and she was really supportive. She was like, yeah, we really need to get onto this. And I was like, well, I have an ultrasound booked for this afternoon, you know. So that's one thing. You know, she ran a whole heap of tests because I was so tired. She wanted to make sure my iron levels were fine, which they were. And she wanted me to go on antidepressants as well, but I refused. I was like, I'd actually just recently seen my naturopath, and I decided with her that we were going to try something natural to help with my moods, which was like high dose of saffron and curcumin or turmeric. So that also would have helped with the anti-inflammatory too. So I was like, I want to give this time, let it work. She wasn't too keen. She's not too keen on the natural stuff, but take it a step at a time, I think. So I went for my ultrasound, and you know, she was actually really, really good. This lady that did it, And in the first, couple of seconds, she was like, oh, no wonder why you're in so much pain. And oh yeah, bloating. I was extremely bloated. I couldn't actually do my pants up at work. I just had the zip done, and then like the buckle bit, I just left it open. But my shirt covered it anyway, so it didn't matter. And she was like, you have a cyst on your right ovary. And I was like, oh, great. Like, knowing that you know what's wrong with you is the biggest relief in the world. Especially because I've been in so much pain for 3 months. And then, so she measured it, and it was like 4 by 5 centimeters. And she was like, it's either an endometrioma or it's just a blood-filled cyst. And she was like, obviously you need to go back to your doctor, and then you can decide what you guys want to do from there. So went to my doctor, and she was like, all right, refer you to the gyno, we'll get this removed. So I went back to the gyno, and within a week again, she got me in for another laparoscopy, where they removed part of the cyst. They couldn't remove the whole thing because it was attached to my ovary, and to remove the whole thing they would have had to remove my ovary. So she removed what she could, and they sent it off, and it was an endometrioma, so which means it was an endometriosis cyst. And then they also found endo on my bladder and another bit as well, like I keep thinking it's like cul-de-sac or something like that, but I can't really remember. So that was it. I had been diagnosed with endo. So that was in the beginning of February. And so what she did was she did excision, which is like cutting out and the removal of it. So yeah. So that's just about me getting diagnosed. So thank you for bearing with me. I know it is very long. And in the next one, I will explain what's happened since. And now, catch you up on what's going on now, because there's been a bit of progression. I hope that anyone that does watch this, if they do have issues that I went through, like, doctors not knowing what's wrong with you, having to do the same test over and over and over again, just keep pushing through and keep getting second opinions. Keep getting, third, fourth, fifth, even if you have to. Because hopefully eventually you will find a doctor that will actually listen and do the right tests, even if you just have like a Google search and be like, well, I want, an MRI, or I want a ultrasound. Sometimes you just have to be stern with them and be like, this is what I want to do to rule out this, this, and this. So good luck. And hopefully having a diagnosis will help and give you that relief that it gave me. So thank you. See you next time.